This is a Nikon FM2 and we're going to load a roll of 35mm film into this camera. I'm going to show you how that's done. This is the locking. This advances the film and then locks the shutter. You wind, click the shutter, then it locks. This is the winding wheel. It flips up and then you wind the film back in that way. The little tab is right here. Button you push forward, it releases it up, and then we have to pull on a little bit more, it releases the film back. Then inside you can see the focal plane. The two little teeth are right there. The film will get locked into there, or loaded into there, I'm sorry, and then this will lock it down. The film will come across. It needs to get fed inside of, you can hopefully see, and if you have the camera, your camera in front of you, you'll be able to see these little notches. The film actually slides into there, and then there's teeth that grip the side of 35mm, and then as it advances it pulls the film across. This will lock, so you have to release that back up. Alright. And film. It goes in with this little round thing. The part that spins goes down. So you pull this up, kind of angle it in, and it will fit. And you can lock that down. And then what you're going to do is pull the film across. Fit into that groove, okay? And as it catches, right there, you're going to shut the film back, press that down. It's not taking a picture yet. You want to wind it all the way until you get to the first frame, which that right there is our first frame. Then you'll stop and then lock your shutter, and then you're ready to take a photograph. Shoot the roll of film. When the roll of film is finished, you will push on that push pin, which will release the film and allow you to wind the film back into its spool, where it is light tight and it's ready for processing. Alright, so we're going to do a little, just to give you a different perspective and a different view of what we just did loading the 35mm film. All the functions of the camera, the basic functions. This is the winding wheel. There's a little handle that flips up, allows you to wind the film back in. The little release tab is right here on the side. That pops up and you pull up on it a little bit more, film back pops open. Inside, the film is loaded on this side. Inside of there are the two teeth, if you will, that lock the film spool into there. Focal plane. The winding spool is on this end, which you can, that's what advances. The teeth grab the side of 35mm film, and the film gets fed in through this little sliver inside of the spool. Pressure plate, back shuts. That locks the shutter. Also advances the film to the next frame. That pushes down and locks it in. Alright, then we're going to load the roll of film. Film only goes in one way. You won't be able to load it any other way other than the correct way. Release that, the film back opens up. So the little spinning part of the spool is down. You have to release this, you have to pull up on all the way and feed that in at an angle. You're going to lock that down. And then you pull the film across. So you have to line it up. You need it inside of that spool. which can be a little tricky. And you're going to advance, take the shutter, advance a little more film. Then you're going to shut the back, and you're going to advance the film forward until it says the first frame. We're on the first frame, so we're all set. I lock the shutter. We're now ready to take a photograph and shoot the roll of film. With the roll of film, there is extra film on both ends of the film. So what we just slid through was exposed to light. No photograph will end up on that frame. So it winds it past to the point where it was protected. When the roll of film is finished, push the push pin in, that releases it, and then you're able to wind the film back into the spool, which I'm actually going to show you what that looks like and what it's doing. So you push the pin in, that releases it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the back. I'm going to ruin this roll of film. That releases the back, so then the film is in there. So what happens is the winder will then wind the film back in. With this, I'm going to have to hold on to it. Okay, so I'll hold on to it, and you'll be able to see the film is then wound back into the spool. And if we were finishing it, it would go all the way in. Then you would pop the back off and take the film out, and it's ready for processing. So again, you release this all the way up on it, drop the film in, so put that down, push that over, that will let into the spool. Okay, once you catch it, close the back. You're going to advance to frame 1. There's frame 1. Lock your shutter. And you can then put a lens on, and you're ready to shoot the roll of film. Make sure that that is locked down. And you're ready to go.